So you have to explain to people, were you living somewhere and you end up losing your house, or you invested into this paperwork that many other people did allegedly and lost their home? So explain that, because you're saying you lost your house. Was you living somewhere already and you lost it, or
I was living in the house.
okay,
And then got into the paperwork thing and bought into the whole idea of the birth certificate, UCC, so, you know, the whole package.
yeah.
And so when I came to the people, you know what I'm saying, I still get a little, you know, so that's where the language gets colorful. You know
Got
what I'm
you.
But because it really was crazy, and it wasn't even the material. It was what happened after I came to the people, and I told everybody on my blog talk. You know, blog talk was the vibe before it was YouTube. Everybody was on blog. So I'm like, yo, it's don't do it. You're gonna lose your crib, your house. Don't be careful. Everybody said, "Oh my God, Inky's a hater. Inky's a hater. He's hating. He hating. He don't want to see nobody else come up and whoop. And I have my website at the time, 33rddynasty.com. People stopped buying from my website. People stopped supporting my little videos. Everybody said I was a hater. The platforms, the people, everybody did this. Everybody turned their back. Right? So what I do, I'm in the middle of a real situation with my family, so I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Money wasn't really an issue as much at that time. So it was easy for me to go ahead and take care of what I needed to take care of and handle my business. You know, we were situated. And when I came back with my new website, my new business, started writing my books again, teaching, coming back into the community, I said, okay, cool. This go round, I'm going to keep my lip zipped next time. So you know what happens? 12 months, 18 months, 24 months after that? Everybody in the community starts complaining that they're putting money up into this paperwork, and guess what's happening? They're calling it a scam. They're saying it's a fraud. They're saying they're getting ripped off, and they're looking at me. They looking at me saying, yo, you sitting right up there on the platform. How can you let this happen? Why aren't you saying anything? And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. I told y'all didn't listen. In fact, y'all turned y'all back on me. So you see what this is. This is Polite's YouTube page. Okay. And I have it sorted oldest to newest. So when I meet Polite, we hit it off right away because I had written a book that I shopped to a bunch of publishers, and the publishers wouldn't print my book. They said it's too racy, too controversial. So one day at an Ali Muhammad class, Polite comes to the class, he does a little thing, and at the end of the class, he says he writes and prints his own books. So at the end of that class, I walked up to him like, yo, I got a book. How much it costs for you to print it? Shot him the bread on the spot. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we created our relationship. So he comes to me with this idea for these lectures, like, yo, you know, the venue costs this amount, blah, blah, blah. I'm about to do the books and the food. You know, if you put up this amount of money, I'm going to give you right back this amount of money. So no problem, let's do it. So that happens for this lecture, right? That happens for the next lecture, which is sacred geometry. Right? That happens for that lecture. That happens for the Kemet mystery lecture. So I'm funding these lectures, these early lectures. So, but the bread is funny at the end of the lecture. I'm not getting the money I'm supposed to get back. At the end of each lecture, he's telling me, like, you know, listen, man, and, you know, hold on, we got a double counting, and this happening, that happening. So he's building a tab with me. You following so far? You can clearly see me standing behind him on the stage as he's lecturing in a whole different type of outfit, right? And the reason why I'm standing on the stage is because I'm looking at how the event is going. I'm counting the seats to see how much money we're making.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So fast forward, we done created this situation, and now he has a tab with me. Right? So now we get to the laptop story. Make sure y'all can see me from the story.
Yes, we see you.
Okay, hold on, I don't see you. Okay, bam. All right, so put down my pad. So he's built up, at this time, it's about $2,300 he owed me.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells me, listen, I got this thing going on. You know, I'm about to move into real estate and start doing these timeshares. And what I'm doing is I'm going into it with a group. So it's going to be a group of us that's going to go into this investment. Now, if you want, I could pay you back your bread, or I can take your bread as an investment in this real estate, and you'll be a part of the company. You know, I'm super early just to make sure that if anything, like just to make sure, because mind you, I'm supposed to be getting my money back for these events after each event. And after each event, it's a story and a breakdown about how I could get peace now and peace later, etc., etc. Boom, 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 boom. The owner of the house comes down because Platinum was renting the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
So the owner of the house comes down. And he like, yo, what's going on? You've been banging on the door all morning. Like, yo, you know, I'm looking for Polite. He like, yeah, I know who you are. Been seeing you here the past few months. You know, I know what you got going on. What happened? You ain't give them no money, did you? I was like, what you mean? I ain't giving them no money. Yeah, I gave them, I gave them a lot of money. He was like, man. What, you didn't know what they do? I thought you was down with them.
Mm.
And so when he says that, I'm just sitting out there on my luggage, and he like, yeah, you know, this what they do, you know.
Chief X and Stinky Inky.
Don't ever.
They're not ready, babe. Yo, Inky, I'm gonna send you a link. Come on in.
Come on in, Inky.
Yeah, I wanna come in. Told you that, boy. Inky ain't stupid, man. Y'all talking all this shit about, Inky know this and he can come in. But why is he not coming in there? Come on, man. You know that Polite was here? Polite would have jumped into this shit quick. No, he wasn't. No. Yeah. Why it says all right, yes, I hear you now. 5 million. Look at this. Hold on. Be quiet, everybody. There's nobody running. I was telling you to bring your fake ass in here all night. So who the hell is running, Inky? What he did was he went and got a book and he's reading the book. And so that's why his ass can't come inside the fucking chat room, because he reading the book and nobody can see him reading the book. See, I'm smarter than you niggas, man. I know what you're doing. This is why you don't want to face nobody. You hiding behind the screen and you're reading a book, Inky. Stop playing games. Stop playing games. Tell us who you healed. Who you healed, Inky? Who you healed, brother? Tell us who you healed. Who you ever healed, Inky? Cut it out. Stop playing games. Bring your ass in here where the people can challenge you and ask you questions. Because that's all you're gonna do is come in, talk shit, and then run so nobody can ask your ass no questions. Come in here and face the people like a man. Face the people like a man. Stop reading books acting like you smart. Come in here. Stop playing.
Son better. He'll do great. He'll do great to his audience when he's speaking and kicking all that stuff.
Yeah, I can tell you reading the book.
Yeah, but if he has some people who are scientifically literate in his face, he can't get away with that type of stuff.
Yeah, I can call it whatever the fuck I want to call it. I'm tired of the bullshit. That's all I'm saying. I'm tired of the bullshit. Because I almost fucking died. I almost died. And niggas coming up in here trying to make me look like I was the fucking victim, like I did something wrong. That's what Inky did. Inky made it look like I was wrong. I wasn't wrong. I never said that you're gonna take some herbs and just automatically get better. I said I took the goddamn products and almost goddamn died. That's what I said.
Wow.
That's what the hell I said. I never said I took the products to go ahead and get healed automatically. No. It's an art to listening, fools. Come on, I'm not this fake ass shit. And you can tell when a nigga is bullshitting because I could respect some of Divine's prospect information because he's not trying to sell shit all the time. He ain't just trying to sell it. He really believes in what he's teaching. You know? So I'm tired of the fake shit, man. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of it.
Can I prove my
Bring
point?
your ass in here, show the people that you're real, and be questioned like everybody else. That's it. Be questioned like everybody else. And if you can stand up to the questioning, then I fucking respect it all again. And until then, stop it. All that shit sounds smart. You some dumb niggas that's listening to all them big words and that bullshit. Show me one person who you have healed. Just bring one. That's all. I'm not saying thousands of them. Just bring one. And if you can't do that, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You're just reading medical books and thinking that shit sounds slick and you sound smart. I'm tired of that. I'm biased, motherfucker. I'm biased. You damn right I'm biased. On the bullshit, on the foolery, on the trickery. You damn right I'm biased. You dumb niggas are gophers. You go for any goddamn thing.
We lucky we got 'em.
We did this one a little different. I played the information first, and then I would do my commentary at the end. So again, we back with another one, and like I said, you can see at the bottom, Sons of the Green Light, the most dynamic young teachers and scholars. I don't even think Inky ever was a follower of Dr. York, so you know, I did a little bit of research and stuff like that. I haven't seen where Inky said anything against Dr. York too funny. But like I said, if somebody can produce that particular evidence, then I stand corrected. But what we just listened to was something that came out that was what, 2019 on Doggy Diamonds. You know, shout out to Doggy Diamonds. I just wanted to use that clip just to make a point. And when you listen to Inky tell his story there and other places, he goes back to when Polite was first coming up. And Inky took credit for influencing Polite because he said, you know, he was wearing the Gators and the Gucci this and the Gucci that. And I said this many times that Polite was just a combination. He was like the Super Scroll off the Fantastic Four, where they was a mixture of all of the they can shapeshift, but they had a Super Scroll that was had all the powers of the Fantastic Four. And what Polite did was he combined all of those teachers that was there before him, and he was chosen by spirit forces, negative spirit forces, to supersede the rest of them. So when you start hearing about him talking about status correction, all that stuff come from Tar Tariq Bey and different sovereignty Moors and people that have been playing with that paperwork going to jail. Because if that stuff really worked, you would have a consistent body of people that's showing and proving that it worked. And we had a lot of people that went to jail. Had a young man that went to jail playing around with that paperwork with Polite, and I think he was locked up in Florida. It was a young man, and when he got caught up, you know, I think they asked the FBI was asking him, or the police was asking him, and I think he gave up Polite's name as one of the people he was reading his books and stuff. So all that stuff Polite was doing, he got it from people that was doing this stuff before him. And in this video, if you go back, I just took a lot of stuff out because I didn't need to get that much. He was saying how he was playing around with the status correction and the paperwork and all that stuff. and he lost his the house he was living in. I went through the same thing. That paperwork stuff. That's when I was doing the consul. When I took, I was planning out, doing that paperwork too, and I had used my name consul. I think it was Consul L Bay, something like that. I gotta look for the ID, and I used that. I never changed my name legally to Consul Ray L Bay. That's what it was. So that was just me, studying and being up here in New York. That's what I was learning, and I've seen some things. Just like a lot of people, you try because you're trying to figure it out, and you make your bumps and bruises. And so, and I just wanted to put that on the record because Charles keep telling these lies that's my legal name. It never was my legal name. It was just a Moorish national ID. That's it. You can't really do nothing with that stuff. And I found out the hard way. And that was because of messing around with Abundance Child and her man at the time. And so these are what they call freedom packages, and a lot of people done got jammed up in the system messing around with that. So I just took a couple of notes, and it says Inky knew from way back what Polite was doing, just like the rest of them. And Polite been on this, what is this? Hold on. Polite been on this, since 2012? I think, yeah. Polite been on this since on different degrees 2012, because he was coming up. He absorbed everybody else's stuff. Natural Tahuti, the Black Woman is God thing, all that stuff is what they all been regurgitating in one form or another. All right, since 2012, Inky dropped the facts on this in 2019 on Darker Diamonds. All right, but none of them really did anything about it. Only one of them made some noise, and that was Young Pharaoh. And Sarnetta got involved with that. So you got to think about it. From the time that Young Pharaoh came around, maybe 2013 or whatever, you had a lot of people who's already making noise. Regular people saying certain things, but Young Pharaoh was the first one to actually make a noise about it, that Sarnetta had to get involved and help the man get his money back, because he said after he had got in jail, he had bought some status correction books from Polite, never got them, whatever. And so Sarnetta had to get involved to get his money back. And this is what started the rift and the beef going on between Pharaoh and Polite, because Polite actually had somebody who was actually known through the same person, which is Sarnetta, to have done some stuff like that. All right, he got his money back. I heard Unc speak up a bit about it, but laughed it off, claiming he liked Polite. That's something too I never did like, because when it came up, I think it was Sarnetta, Polite. No, I think it was Sarnetta, Unc, and Garfield was on the phone or whatever talking about it before. And, Unc was like, I like Polite, my man. They all sitting here laughing it off like it's a game. It's not funny. And so these are the things that we're talking about. People got all these heavy duty names. They this killer, they this, that, and the third. They the pseudo debunker, all these different titles. But what about being anti your people getting robbed of their money? Like, we see all of the energy goes into the Caucasian, talking about the system, talking about what they're doing, vaccines, pro-vaccine, anti-vaccines, the Nile Valley history, the Moors, conspiracy theories. But one thing that's not a conspiracy is Polite been taking money via Sarnetta and them, and all of y'all sat there and watched it. And nobody really said anything. The Peel said a little something, and then that fizzled out. And nobody else said nothing and did nothing either. And they all was around this same person. And these are the things that make you be like, yo, something is not right. Because all of y'all claim to be so pro-black, but y'all not pro-black when it come to one of y'all own doing the dirt that y'all was doing. And the funny thing is about it, Polite didn't break y'all off because his main man, Sarnetta, took him a minute before they settled that down and got right. So I know if Polite wasn't paying Sarnetta right off, and even according to Inky, he wasn't paying him off. And if you look at the way, if you look at the full interview on Doggy Diamond, is how he was, telling, according to Inky, he was saying, he owed me money and was like, okay, well, I can pay you back, or I can, invest it into this. It's the same stuff we heard from everybody else. Every time they caught Polite and he called them back and he was like, listen, man, I just need my money. He said, listen, what you need to do is let me diversify your portfolio, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna direct deposit that, and then I'm gonna send that through, the economic vortex, and then I'm gonna, send it through one end of the Bitcoin at the beginning of the mentality that's up underneath the economics stairwell to heaven, and from there we're gonna reroute through the routing numbers. After you give me your routing numbers, you know what I'm saying, then we're gonna make sure we quadruple what you need, young king. But see, all of that sounds good on paper, but again, all he did was leave the black community hanging in one form or another. Okay? What else we got? I said, the Peel spoke up on it and got shut down real quick. All these so-called teachers looked the other way, like the black celebrities looked past Charlemagne the God and his using Spanish fly to take advantage of a few women from his own mouth. So why should we expect any true justice? They scream, the white man did this, the white man did that, and won't hold their own peers or students in check. Polite and others who they know are guilty have been in arm's reach to get results, and they did nothing. Why? As soon as you say something about Kemet, you say something about the Hebrew Israelite camps, you know what I'm saying? You say anything about these invisible things that do nothing for the race of people, they ready to cut heads, hit the streets, set fire to the streets, debate 100 days back to back, fasting, no water, no eating, and all of that. Catch 15 epiphanies. They ready to get busy. But they all claim they there to help the people. But when you seeing somebody robbing the people, y'all do nothing about it. And then you leave it to the YouTubers who can only do what they can and just tell you what's going on and repeat the same information. But y'all right there in the same vicinity as the crime and the criminals. The same, again, these pictures is just a lineup in this book that Tahaka put out. And all you got to do is look through thoroughly and look at the message and all the foolishness surrounding it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. What else? Here's a good one. Here's another good one. Tommy Sotomayor did so much disrespect against black women, and when he attended a Sarnetta event a couple years ago, they had like one person swung on Tommy Sotomayor one time. And he was able to, and again, I'm not saying it should have happened or should not, right? Because Sarnetta was like, he didn't want that going on at his event. He said, whatever happened on the outside, that's different. I understand that. But the point is this: all the crap that Tommy was saying against black people, especially black women, went to a Black Power event where everybody supposed to be so woke, knew who he was in there shaking his hand like he was a celebrity, and only one person swung on him. And then Tommy, after he left there, was walking around New York with a gun or two that he brought with him, and was saying he gonna be in New York for a while and he dare anybody to run up on him. Again, all talk. Y'all ain't do nothing. Tommy was a coon. He was all these things. A house Negro. He was all these things. But when the dude came right up in the lion's den with all these super pro-black people there, I'm talking about Unc was there. Some people from his crew was there. What her name is? Dr. Mayat. And from my sources, Dr. Mayat is the one that set that stage up so Tommy could get jumped. But it didn't go that way again. All types of tomfoolery. But the people that's out there robbing the black people is Tommy ain't by himself? Because most of them that be at these events are just as guilty. But once again, they will not do nothing toward the real ones that's doing the thing. All right? In the last part, you hear Sonetta almost died taking some herbs and stuff from Inky. He calling himself a doctor. Now this took place a little while ago. But now it went from Minister Inky to Dr. Inky. And I remember when he came on one time and they was asking him, I think he was Dr. Mott and Sonetta was talking, and Inky came on, he was saying this, that, and the third, and they was asking him. Sonetta was like, okay, well, what you got your doctorate in? Or where did you go to get your doctorate degree? He didn't want to tell nobody. His excuse was, you know how black people are, they want to go and this, that, and third. People want to know if you a doctor, because if you running around and only people you talking to is your own, why nobody supposed to check your sources? You can't keep talking about you write books and you deal with primary sources. When somebody say, okay, you want to check people's footwork, we need to check your footwork because you claim to be a doctor. But look at listen to this here. Sonetta did a whole skit mad saying that he almost died taking some advice and herbs from Inky. But guess what? They back around each other like ain't nothing happened. And this is a dangerous situation because you have this type of circus going on with a bunch of our people who claim they got knowledge. This is just a small thing. Now imagine, look at bigger people like York and Farrakhan and all these other different big time speakers doing greater levels of criminality against their own followers. And all these people in these books that I will point out is following some of these hypocrites to this day. So the whole thing is to Harker, because this is for you. You are a prime example of why it should be more fact checking and ways to go through doing things before you just able to throw and toss a book out there. But that's how America is in a lot of places. They don't have any real checks and balances unless you got the money to make some things happen. So this right here just showing you once again that you don't do no research and all you do is copy and paste and you threw all this stuff together. And you know it's far from over for me. Because I told you should have left me alone. Gave you the blueprint in 2015 when I sent Christian Jefferson that information. That information was sent to be taken and used to correct some mistakes. But you didn't care. You didn't heed the warning. And then you even went even further and wrote this trash book. And you think that is really nice. No, it's not. Only thing you did was just gave me more evidence to show that you don't really care about your own self or your craft. Because if you went to school to learn how to write and be an author, you wasted your money and your time. Because this book here has to be one of the worst books I ever seen with the level of lies. It's amazing. But I'm done. Truman to call in the peace in trash book wartime.